Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to week 2 of the LWL. Tonight, we'll be watching as Supernova Dark Matter takes on 100 Thieves next. Both of these teams are currently equal in their individual standings, so this series will make for a break in the tie. I am your play-by-play caster, Zephyr, joined by the lovely Cubby as my color. How are you doing tonight, Cubby?
Good, Zephyr. How about you? I'm excited for what should be a really interesting match between, 100 Thieves next, who arguably is the top team in amateur right now, and Dark Matter, who I feel like has really been playing above their pay grade in terms of, a lot of the strategies and the team play they brought to the table so far.
Yeah, I definitely think Supernova Dark Matter has a lot of potential to come out on top, especially against some of these higher level teams. So either
hmm
way here, it could definitely be a toss up. But with that, though, we are hot into the pick and bans phase, and the first round of bans has already gone through here.
Yeah, interesting to see the VAR is still taken off the table. I know that he's seen some nerfs. It's actually a pick that Dark Matter loves to let through because they have a solid counter in it in the Jhin that they like to play. But 100 Thieves next, man, these picks and bans are coming in fast. Looks like it's going to
Yeah.
be the Aphelios for Yawn and Nidalee for Kenvi.
Yeah, a lot of strength coming out there in the jungle. Really interested to see what Kenvi pulls out there with the Nidalee. We see a lot of pressure come through the top side of the map in the regards to 100 Thieves. So a little bit of that interesting play early could potentially put them forward here.
Yeah, and this is a pick we've talked about Kenvi's Nidalee. We've seen him perform on it. One of the best mechanical junglers that we have on the amateur scene, and Nidalee's been cropping up now, but he's been playing this pick for months already, especially into the Graves matchup. So really love to see him on this pick once again. He'll be busting out the cat in the hat on the Rift. And in response, looks like we have the Ezreal Karma. So Karma is a flex that Dark Matter can hold into the rest of the draft, but is going to secure that strong, safe bottom laner in Ezreal.
Yeah, either way, it could be a lot of poke potential in that bot lane. Hopefully trying to set back Yeon here on this Aphelios, prevent him from getting to that mid to late game power spike. So hopefully we see a bit of the strength and pressure come through Dark Matter's bot lane. They can take that and run with it, which would hopefully be one of their strong suits here, as they don't have a lot to rely on across the board.
Yeah, and talk about or speaking of reliability, depth charge is a pretty good way to find and engage here, and that's going to be taken for Auto in the side of 100 Thieves next. And I love the pairing with the Nidalee as well. Nautilus brings the CC, Nidalee brings the damage in that duo, and so really look for Auto and Kenvi to try and free themselves up on the map, get those early roams around. And looks like 100 Thieves next are even going to dump in a few support bans as well, so they might really think this Karma's mid.
It wouldn't be a surprise. Spirix has a lot of potential to carry through with his team, and putting that in the mid lane could make for some great rotation to get any lane ahead. So no surprise to see the Yuumi ban come out as well as the Morgana. They're definitely putting the chokehold here on St. Daniel in Dark Matter.
Yeah, and speaking of Spirax, he really is known for his Azir play, which is still on the table. So Dark Matter, they still hold the flex, could still get that Azir for Spirax, trying to keep the cards a little bit closer to their chest. And they are getting rid of mid laners themselves, possibly setting up for an Azir pick. Zoe is a pick that you can play into it. Synergizes very well, but they're actually going to take that one away as it's 100 Thieves next. We know they're going to blind pick mid here, because guess who gets the counter later in the top lane? It's going to be Tenacity.
And that's the one we're going to be looking to see how they play through. 100 Thieves has a lot of strength through Tenacity, and they tend to play through that top side. So I'm curious to see what Dark Matter actually has up there for the matchup, but no surprise to see the Corki come out here from next.
I like the Corki. Gives some more identity to this comp, right? They have some sort of siege poke comp coming on in right now, and he's such a safe blind pick, especially into so many mid laners. Can easily lane against the Karma. He's just going to grab that farm, and guess what? At 8 minutes, he comes onto the map with a package when that Rift Herald spawns. And it looks like we might have a couple other responses as Vel'Koz, or
No.
oh, it's going to be the Victor. Okay. I was getting excited for Vel'Koz. I am very excited for Victor, who also saw some buffs this patch.
I think Victor definitely works a little bit better for this team. You kind of pull back for a heavy, aggressive poke support with the Vel'Koz. The Victor at least gives you a bit more of the crowd control and levels out the playing field a bit here.
Yeah, and it really should bring that wave clear into the mid lane, so we know it's going to be a Karma support now into the Nautilus, and they're also going to blind pick the Maokai top for Fire Theft. I gotta say, giving Tenacity free reign of choice when that Maokai is flashing, I'm interested to see what he pulls out. We could see a Fiora. We could see even something as cheesy as a Nasus coming on through. We're gonna have to see what he
Ooh.
opts for, and it's gonna be the Aurelia.
Now that could be pretty dangerous here for the side of Dark Matter and putting behind. It's not going to be Fire Theft. I actually think it's going to be Gibble here in the top lane tonight. So what could be a great team fight presence on the Maokai could be completely stunted by the aggressive playstyle of Tenacity here. So I need to see Dark Matter look to shut that down.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how that one plays out because, you know, Tenacity, I don't know if you know this, but he actually does have an Aurelia only account that he loves to play on. So one of his favorite champions in the top lane gonna take a favorable matchup into that Maokai as well. He got free choice of pick, and that's what he's gonna end up taking. And it's interesting because, you know, normally with other teams, like I would say that this Aurelia, it doesn't really fit their identity. It's not something that, you know, they might be able to pull off, but it is 100 Thieves next, and they love to play through both Tenacity and Kenvi, and getting them a very favorable topside matchup usually bodes well for this team.
Yeah, both super aggressive picks. So to be honest, while it may not match up perfectly, if they do get the lead ahead on that top side, you'll definitely see the wealth of that victory spread across the board here, shutting down not only the mid, but technically the bot lane presence here that we could see played through from the Spider Queen in St. Daniel.
Yeah, and that's something that, you know, if they can get some sort of pressure in that bot lane, it really could turn the map around. Something that I'm going to be looking forward to, though, is not as much that bot lane, but that mid lane pressure. Can this Karma Graves get going? It's such a strong early game duo, especially into the mid game when Karma, you know, spikes extremely hard when she finishes that Athena's, when she grabs that either Ardent Censored or Death Cap next. She brings a lot of AP to the table and a surprising amount of damage in the early game. So I'm really going to look for, you know, can SpearX, you know, get together with Xyle? Can they get some sort of favorable invades going? Because if you put this Nidalee behind, she does become rather useless.
I think it's very interesting. Both of these teams play through somewhat of the same style. They utilize the pressure of their heavy aggressive junglers to get, in 100 Thieves respect, they get their top lane head through Tenacity, and Supernova Dark Matter gets SpearX ahead through the mid lane. So either way, if you see a shutdown respectively towards either of these lanes, it definitely spells out the victor for both sides.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting, always interesting when you have different win conditions going up against each other, not just with how the teams like to play, but also, you know, what they bring to the table. And I feel like we really have that this game because Dark Matter, they have some elements of early game, right? They have the fact that, you know, you can get this Karma Graves rolling if, you know, you bring the Karma up. Also, the Nidalee Nautilus duo is going to be very strong with those invades. The Victor is going to scale incredibly hard, though, with the Maokai. So it feels like Dark Matter might even have a late game angle. But if they do go late, you're still staring down on the Felios and a Corki in the face. And those characters do a lot of damage as the game goes on. So I'm kind of interested to see like how these teams interact, because I feel like 100 Thieves really wins this early game, but I don't know how hard they necessarily get outscaled.
I'm not quite sure how well Dark Matter will perform into the mid to late game. One of the best things that I've seen from Dark Matter, if I could pick on it, does happen to be their cohesion. If they are put together in their respective match, that is how this team manages to punch above their weight level. So that's technically what I'm going to be looking for across the board here. While they may get outscaled, the tempo of how they play through some of these team fights could definitely put them on an equivalent level. So I don't really know how 100 Thieves is going to match up to that, even if they have somewhat of the advantage, like you said, through that Aphelios and Corki, respectively.
Yeah, and you know, it's going to be interesting because it's something that I always like to see with Victor, right? Is are you able to hit those early game Hextech item spikes? Are you able to get that wave clear going? And, you know, if he does, that mid lane is pretty much going to be a handshake, and I'm curious to see who gets the roams. Corki can easily roam with that package, but if Victor gets going with this Graves, that's a high damage duo, and especially if you bring the Karma up, things could get really bloody for Dark Matter. So I'm curious to see, you know, if they're able to find any of these picks, any of these early game plays, especially with the Maokai coming down from the top lane. But once again, 100 Thieves next, if they are able to get the Nautilus and Nidalee rolling together, they're going to do so much work.
We haven't really talked a lot about the bot lane here from Yeon and Spider Queen, respectively, and a lot of that comes from a little bit of the flexibility of the Ezreal pick. It can be aggressive, but it can also play incredibly safe for a majority of the game. And I definitely think the bot lane can add to the prevalence of this match as a whole, because we talk a lot about the mid lane versus top lane matchup, but we leave out the fact that if one of these bot lane get ahead, they can make the rotation up additionally with their supports and start giving a bit of an edge to either or team. I think a lot about Supernova Dark Matter on this one, regards to how Spirax has a lot of potential through that mid lane.
Yeah, and Spirax, as the game goes on, is going to get more potential with how hard Victor scales. He really needs to get those Hextech items finished before he feels like a real champion on the map. And once he does, he can get really scary, especially in the lane against Corki. It should be a farm lane, but we're going to have to see how those mid laners get out of lane to impact the rest of the map. And I like how you bring up the bottom side, because if you're able to get that Aphelios Nautilus rolling, it can be a very oppressive duo, can snowball the game very quickly. But on the flip side, Ezreal Karma can start laying siege rather early in the game with the kits they have. If they're able to get an advantage and then some of that early poke, we could see that bot lane be pretty volatile. So we're gonna have to see how
Absolutely.
that one plays out.
Yeah, definitely. But both these teams have set themselves up for what will be a potentially exciting game one. And it's kind of up in the air how it will all turn out. But with that being said, we're going to get ourselves all loaded up here as we look to get into that first game. So stick around and stay tuned, and don't click away from that browser. Welcome back to game one here of Supernova Dark Matter versus 100 Thieves. Next, finally getting our way into game. Want to apologize for that little bit of a long intermission period, but we're finally here and we finally got these two teams matched up.
Excited to get into this one. 100 Thieves next, coming off of a bit of an oopsie against Polaris, as they did drop a game that was. They don't drop a lot of games in amateur, so we're gonna have to see if they end up dropping one here. And I'm kind of bummed that Kenvi isn't rocking the cat in the hat as he usually does, but I guess he's going for a different look this time around. And we're gonna have to
the
see.
skin on copy though. That's an oldie, a little bit of a
Oh,
legacy choice.
oh, big fan. I like Red Baron Corky, man. That's my favorite. That's really old school.
You're traditional. That's what you are.
Yeah, very traditional. We're gonna have to see as Kenvi does drop that ward, goes back, gets the sweeper. Looks like he's gonna go for what might be a red start. He does have the Hunter's Talisman, so probably looking to clear out some of those early AoE camps. As Zyle's gonna start red, see how he paths, and really look out for Kenvi, because if Kenvi gets ahead on this Nidalee, he can set the pace and the tempo and really start to bully out the Graves if he ends up finding him later.
Yeah, definitely, especially looking towards this top side with Gibble here on Supernova Dark Matter. I'm expecting to see a rotation from Kenvi at some point. We've seen a little bit of a trade here in the mid lane from Copy, and Spirex takes it pretty even. No surprise there, nothing too exciting.
Nothing too exciting should come of that lane, as Victor is going to be looking to farm up, as well as Corky. We're going to have to see if Copy does go for that tier that we've seen more and more out of Corky's in the mid lane. Meanwhile, bot lane, we do have the Aphelios Nautilus getting poked out early, but once that Nidalee comes down bot, they have
the dredge
all the
line. That's going to hit through onto Spider Queen there, take him down to half health, not respecting the distance there from Otto.
Nice find there from Otto. Nice little one trade. A couple more of those, and if you keep them low, once again adds the threat for Nidalee. And what we're doing,
getting chased out of lane there.
Gonna get chased out of lane. Good trade from Copy. If you keep that bot lane low, especially with Nidalee pathing bot, this is really good for 100 Thieves next. Whereas, this top side Tenacity is gonna have to be careful because Xylo's about to make his way up top.
He's making his way up top. Gil gonna get stunned out in the meantime. Takes a bit of that trade, but that passive's gonna keep him healthy meanwhile. But that lane pressure is in favor of Tenacity here. Ooh, Copy. Spirix looking to finish this one off. He lays down the laser. See him blast forward. The flash is gonna come out there. Does not want to take that trade.
Bit of an oopsie coming out from Copy. You can understand why he's trying to overextend, shove in that lane so we get a clean reset, but goes a little bit too far and may even have to burn his TP to get back to that lane.
A lot of pressure applied out here from 100 Thieves in this bot side. They got pushed in from the poke, and now they've completely taken control of this wave, and they're turning it around here. Spider Queen and St. Daniel not able to apply that same amount of pressure.
Yeah, and you can see, with this new patch, we did have Ghost getting a buff. Spirax opting to take that on the Victor, so he's not going to be able to TP back to this lane. Does have to walk. Graves, though, is going to soak up that wave, get some XP and gold to his name, and have Victor come right on back. But
Dredge line under a turret there. Otto going to be able to walk out of that one clean, but he's going to take a assumed poke there for going too aggressive.
And early action, but leading to a quiet early game as nothing has really been able to get cashed in yet. We do have some summoners down mid. We're going to have to see if Xylo makes his way there. But besides that, these lanes pretty much just handshaking as Xylo's going to make his way topside. Maybe look to dive early. I highly doubt they can pull this one off, though.
Yeah, the wave's already pushed in too late. That ward caught him out a bit too early there. A lot of pressure from Spirix, though, in this mid lane, constantly pushing Copy out of the way here. That's the lane I want to see Xylo make the aggression on here, because that's one of the only potential lanes that he'll have the time to get into.
Yeah, Xylo might... I don't think he can really move the Corki. I want to see him try and go top as Otto
holding
is,
this wave.
Getting a little cheesy.
Gonna take the poke for it.
Gonna take some poke for it, but no harm, no foul. Making sure that Jan can get all that farm XP as he's actually gonna go stop the base of St. Daniel as well. So nice little find there, delaying those base timers.
Spider Queen, though, going to finish that completed tier, get his way on for the Mana Moon here eventually. No surprise there. Pretty standard across the board. Like you said, everyone just kind of generally touching hands here. Nothing too aggressive. Really waiting on Kemby and Xylo, respectively, to start kind of unevening the balance here across these lanes.
Yeah, and something I do like, Tenacity does this quite a bit in his play in the top lane. He often takes Cole in these matchups, and I love that item early. I feel like people really underestimate how strong of an early game item that is. +3 health on hit, especially for an Aurelia, where, your Q, you're going to get +3 health from that, is actually a lot of healing, and more healing than what you get from a Doran's Blade, plus you get the sense of scaling from that item as well. So the fact that he's got that early, going to feel really good. Xylo going to get that control ward easily cleared out. That one's didn't last too long.
Not too long. Xylo going to make his way towards the top side here, relieving the pressure they had on this dragon that's now on the rift here. That's going to be going the way of 100 Thieves, as Dark Matter doesn't really have any point in the contention here.
No point to contest, and it looks like this one's going to go over to the Nidalee. Nice control coming out here from 100 Thieves next as they secure this first monster objective, and curious to see if this prompts for them to maybe flip the map, whether that's Dark Matter or possibly 100 Thieves next, trying to play for that Rift Herald that will spawn at the 8-minute mark.
One thing that I just noticed here, I like the rotation from Otto across the board. Ooh, a bit of aggression here from Gibble there. Going to throw the root down. Xylo's there through from the bot side. Looking to chase him out. We see the flash out of the backward blast there from Xylo. Tenacity's going to be able to get that. We see that wave pushing in, but they're not looking to respond any further.
It looks like Tenacity is going to greed for that wave, and with all the healing that he has in his kit, going to be able to pull that one off. Is Otto going to take some poke for, proper punish for missing out on that dredge line.
Hey, it's a risky skill to use, so no surprise there. And that's what you're going to be laning into with Spider Queen, St. Daniel being respectively, like you said, very volatile in the champion selection. But good rotations from Otto across the board, whether it be making his way to the mid lane or right now protecting the jungle Nidalee here. We're going to see St. Daniel's maybe look for the rotation up, but it's too late. That red buff is gone.
This is what we want to see out of Kenby on this Nidalee pick. He did get his choice of which jungle to select as the counter into the Graves. And we've seen him take this Nidalee before, and he's so good at this pick. And you can tell, he is starting to get a CS lead, starting to actually get ahead of this Graves, which is not easy to do. It's so easy to farm camps on Graves and really just power farm your way through the jungle, but can be doing the same thing and even managing to sneak his way into the other side jungle as well.
Yep. So a bit of the similar pathing here. I like the movement from Tenacity here, getting the early vision out as he waits for these jungle timers to come out here. He wants to make sure he can play as aggressive as possible against Skibble here to continue fostering the lead he's looking for on this Aurelia.
Yeah, and that's, one of the things that we've really seen improvement out of Tenacity, and that's kind of how he plays the map. We know that he's an insanely talented top laner, mechanically very, very, very skilled, but the way that we've seen it develop has actually been in some of these team plays as
auto dredge line on the Spider Queen. We see the depth charge laid out there. They're continuing to chase the Ezreal down. We're going to see the root come through on Spider Daniel as the Gravitum Moonlight Vigil comes through. The root's going to finish that one out. A dredge line again. Double ignite is placed through here. St. Daniel's going to go down though. On the other side of the map, though, we also see Zyle get taken out by Kemby in his own jungle.
Beautiful plays coming out. We also
meanwhile, Copy here looking to finish out this kill onto the Spider Queen. Throws it down. The burst comes through. It's going to be another kill going the way of 100 Thieves.
And just like that, 100 Thieves next finds wins across the entire map. The solo kill in the jungle. We have Copy finding the roam to secure that double kill in the bot lane. Plates going over to Yon. What a start for them, and good plays coming out from all members across the team.
Absolutely. None of it having anything to do with Tenacity, which is the funniest part about this. Oh, we're going to see the Vanguard's Edge come through onto Gibble here. The slow coming down, gets that reverse root down, throws down the Nature's Grass to give himself some time, but he is pushed out of lane. Spear's going to miss. Meanwhile, from Kenby, going to get over that wall, but St. Daniel will see the double flash come through here. He's trying to make the escape here. Tenacity's maybe looking to save this one the best he can, but it does not get the full stun out. Kenby's getting chased down. Zyle gets that kill. He turns immediately, gets the response on a St. Daniel. Now we see Spear throw down the Chaos Storm onto Copy here. Going to get that ghost out immediately. Copy forced to flash as Otto does a great job of peeling here. Now Zyle going to be the target of contention as Tenacity looks to get that stun. Misses though. Now we see the dredge line in the mid lane with the depth charge as Copy secures another kill on this Gorky. 100 Thieves across the map, just picking it apart.
I'm disappointed to see Spirax poke out and be that greedy. That's something that we're not used to seeing from such a solid player in the mid lane for Dark Matter. But 100 Thieves next. Great roams coming in from both the supports. They realized how important the Rift Herald is, but Kenby already took it. And with them helping out with those fights, they managed to turn it in the favor of pretty much 100 Thieves next. One kill going over to Zyle, but not going to mean a whole lot in the big picture of the game.
Otto here. Doesn't really matter. He's a big tank. He's going to take that poke any time of day. One good thing here that I thought was honestly pretty incredible here was 100 Thieves managed to pull back around and get the kill onto St. Daniel almost immediately from the response from Supernova Dark Matter. So they took that fight in the top lane. While they lost one, they were able to gain one in the process. So even when they died, they're still able to pick up the pieces and get something on their belt.
Yeah, and it was good target focus coming out from Dark Matter to pick up that single kill, but once again, they are behind. They went a little bit too deep, and now they're staring down a 4K gold lead, and my eyes are really on Gibble, and what can he do with his next teleport? Because it feels like that's the only way Dark Matter get back in this game.
See a little bit of the pressure come out from Tenacity there. The Dragon is going to be up here. We see Kemby and launching on to Zyle here in this back. That Spear is going to connect, and with that being said, that Dragon's secured for 100 Thieves without the pressure of Zyle being available.
Yeah, well played coming in from 100 Thieves next. They're also going to commit that Rift Herald to the bot lane to further add pressure on the map, make sure that they're able to secure this Dragon. And 100 Thieves next with wins across the entire board. They look fantastic to start off this series.
Yeah, pedal to the metal is the way I describe it. 100 Thieves constantly applying pressure across the board here. Ooh, True Shot Raj going to come out there. Regline not quite hitting the mark. Yon very low. The Moonlight Vigil is going to come down with the Calibrum Strike. Going to get a little bit of damage to Spire Queen. Now Kenby trying to finish this one off as St. Daniel gets picked off from the Severum kill there. Now Kenby just trying to put this one, but it's going to be the Dredge Line. The double kill going over the way of Yon here.
Oh, and Yon played that so well. He had the perfect guns for that fight. You could see him stacking up those Chakrams, finding the kill onto Karma, and just like that, 100 Thieves next. They've broken this game wide open.
Rotation. Look at the rotation. We got Kemby in the back line, and the Spear connects.
Kenby.
So good.
Kenby is an absolute monster on this Nidalee. We've seen so many good things from this player. Gibble's in trouble, too.
Yeah. They're not letting up across the map. He's able to get out of that one just fine. but he has to relieve the pressure on the turret here, and that's going to be more turret plates stacking through onto Tenacity here.
And this was kind of our concern for this matchup. We know how good Dark Matter is when they get out of lane, when they start playing as a team, but what happens in the lane against a team with so many dominant mechanical players like 100 Thieves Next, and it really seems like for this game one, 100 Thieves Next has gotten the best of Dark Matter already.
Absolutely. You have to start thinking, what can you play off of next game here?
Kenvi is.
St. Daniel here going to spot out Kenvi immediately. He looks for that escape, but Spearex is there. He's going to be running into both of those turrets. Spearex finally picking up a response for himself on this Victor. Hopefully that leads into a bit of a transition here for Dark Matter, but it's a bit up in the air at this point.
Kenvi was kind of limit testing there.
That's a way to put it.
Yeah, that was kind of a limit test coming out there from Kenvi, but hey,
of course.
They're pretty far ahead, so you might as well, try your hand at a few extra things.
You've got the extra gold to spare. 7,000 ahead here for the side of 100 Thieves. Oop, copy. Looking to steal something out here from Xyle here, playing this quite aggressively. He knows he can make the escape need be. Throws himself over the wall. He's completely fine.
He's fine, just aggressive play with packaging. You can see, with how far 100 Thieves Next is, I actually love a few things that are going on with their itemization. You can see Otto's not working towards that stone place.
Chase here. We're going to see this teleport in the back line as we see the dredge line launching down here. Going to be hit. Tenacity gets that kill surprisingly right off the end of that teleport.
Yeah, big commitments coming in from each team. As Tenacity does burn his TP, but he gets back on the map. He should be able to go top lane, find some pressure there. And 100 Thieves Next looks like they're about to just lay siege to this mid lane with their double marksman comp and the poke from almost the level 11 Corki coming on through.
Yeah, and those plates coming down at just the right time here. That tower doesn't have much of the defense to give itself a berth here. Spider Queen trying to aggressively play someone, get rid of that minion wave before it does too much damage here. They're able to save the turret for just a little bit longer, but it's not going to be for too much.
I love watching Jan, how he plays this Aphelios. He's done so well just stacking up those chakrams, making sure that he can be as strong as possible in these fights. It's already not in one kill, and just the mastery of this champion really being shown. And we're used to seeing, this is Akinoki, he did go through a name change, but we're used to seeing him, really have those star-studded performances on picks like the Ezreal, right? That he's very well known for. But it's good seeing him on the Aphelios, a pick that I don't see 100 Thieves Next really prioritize all that often, doing so well.
Spearex here pushing in the wave. We see the rotation in the backline from Xyle. Chaos Storm is down. Copy goes with the flash, but it's not enough. Spearex picking up another kill on this Victor.
Copy with a bit of an oopsie, playing out that gank. I feel like he was going down either way, but still got hit by the Graves Q. I don't know how that went. It looks like it went through the turret almost. That was a little bit confusing to me. That said, finding something for Dark Matter, right? To get them back on the map, get a little bit of tempo under their belt going, and we're going to have to see if they can snowball this into more, especially, considering if they can get some control over this river, because Infernal Drake is about to spawn, and they do not want to have 100 Thieves Next looking at Soul Point already.
Yeah, no surprise coming through from Spearex here, one of the prime members of Supernova Dark Matter to watch out for. To see that lead starting to stack through him on this Victor in the prime time for the scaling to come out here, that could mean and bode well for the side of Dark Matter.
We're going to have to see what Spearex decides to go for next. It looks like those items could be possibly working towards a Lichbane or, a Luden's Echo. I would actually love to see a Lichbane here on the Victor, considering how squishy the members of 100 Thieves Next are. That could do some serious damage.
Definitely. Now looking at the pressure here, they're continuing to apply this and shove these lanes across the board from top all the way to down to bottom. We see that flip come through. His copy is holding the pressure on that top side now, giving Tenacity a bit of the berth through the spot lane, making sure he can make the rotation necessary for this upcoming dragon.
Yeah, and look out for Gibble. He does have TP on the Maokai. If Dark Matter want anything to work, if they take this fight, it's going to have to be off of a very nice TP, but personally, I think they're too far behind. I feel like they have to give this and, try and win the next dragon fight. Dredge
line does connect there. The flash comes through from Xyle very early. That Infirm Strike comes very strong. Gibble with the root, going to be locking down Otto here, but the Moonlight Vigil with a great Gravitum, going to lock down the entirety of Supernova Dark Matter. The Vanguard's not quite going to be hit, but the chase ensues here from the Corki from Copy. Going to take out Xyle. Meanwhile, Spider Queen, the next target here, going to be blasted from the side, and the barrage is going to hit for the double kill. Now St. Daniel, the only one last alive here, can be trying to juggle the turret poke here. St. Daniel turns around the exhaust, but it's not enough. Copy, another kill going the way of 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves getting a little fancy there as they're going in between the two turrets there in the bot lane to secure that last kill. That should lead into the Dragon, and this is a scary game for Dark Matter. They're staring down Soul Point and an 11k gold lead, and what an impressive snowball coming out from 100 Thieves next. I mean, wins from all players across the map, but really feels like they haven't done anything crazy impressive. They just won their lanes, every single one of them.
Win lane, win game is the simplest way I can describe it, and they really were just better across the board here. So while we do see Dark Matter try to step up to the plate, get the early initiative on some of these team fights, like you said, they're a bit too far behind to make as much as an impact as they'd like.
Yeah, and you could see Gibble trying to make that TP play. It was a good angle, but the only member he was able to get on by the time the TP was done channeling was Auto, the Nautilus support, not the member you want.
Oop, Xyle here.
Another find them in
caught out on the side. Going to use that package. Copy.
He's
That's
so
disgusting.
fed right now.
Yeah,
he is
looking to
so
turn on the Spirix. Yeah, 5-1 Trinity as well. Ooh, we see the Chaos Storm come back to respond there. Spirix not quite able to pick up much, just pushing this man off him, not looking to make him a 6-1 Corki.
Yeah, but that does get at least the ultimate out of Victor, and I'm curious to see where Kenvi drops this Rift Herald. I'm expecting that this goes down in that mid lane to see if they can clear out that inner turret to open up the map even more for them. As, now they're pretty much just playing around until the Baron spawns. So this is a chance for Dark Matter to pick up some farm, maybe freeze a lane, deny a lane of creeps away from the side of 100 Thieves next, and have access to their jungle camps. But you can see 100 Thieves next are already starting to choke them out.
See a great play there from Sparkling getting out of the response on that dredge line, but that Rift Herald, like you said, going to be pushed down the mid lane. Moonlight Vigil comes out meanwhile there. Going to see the heal and the response to that extra poke. Ooh, that turret is just destroyed. Another dredge line, but the Flux going to get the Ezreal out of this one safely. Xyle looking to follow someone up. The Nether's Grass, not quite able to lock down anyone from 100 Thieves there.
That was close. They might have been able to find a kill considering the fact that Aftershock was down, but this game's still looking pretty one-sided, Zephyr, and I'm not sure if Dark Matter can come back from this one. It looks like they might be talking about Game 2 right now.
Definitely could be on the mindset here. I love the change in the blast cones recently, or giving that extra bit of mobility in the jungle. Always fun to see that. But if you were the side of Dark Matter here, what would you be looking to change if the general concept was that you just got outplayed lane by lane individually? Ooh, never mind. Hold that thought. Tenacity here. Looking for the plays on the sideline. They're getting a bit of poke off onto 100 Thieves. Gibble with a big root here onto Otto. Gonna be slamming that one down, but the Vanguard's Edge comes through as Kemi just bursts down Gibble. Potentially looking to follow this one up. No spear connects, but that was disgusting, the response there from Kenvi.
I mean, that's honestly just disrespectful from 100 Thieves next. The fact that they were sticking around that long with both of their marksmen in base, and they were still able to win the 3v4.
They're still sticking around. Kenvi here looking for the chase on the Xyle, and he can do this. He can take the chance all he wants. He knows he has the application available. Xyle trying to escape. It doesn't matter. Ooh, Copy here, forced to flash away from Spearaxe. Meanwhile, we see the Ghost come out there. Is he willing to take it under turret?
Uh-oh.
Not quite, but the rotation's coming through from 100 Thieves next. You've already got Kenvi on the plate here. Doesn't matter. Blown to shreds.
That was a big rocket. That one did a lot of damage. As, with that, 100 Thieves next. They're going to move on to the Baron. And I've got to say, this game has been pretty one-sided.
Yeah, absolutely here. They're able to take their progressive leads and combine it to just a wash across the map here. 100 Thieves next is one of the best in the amateur scene for a reason. So Dark Matter, quite an uphill battle for them in the regards to the series as a whole. If you were them, Cubby, and it was just the general concept that you're losing these lanes individually, where do you play through with the strengths? I know we talk a little bit about Spearaxe being kind of the bearer of the weight here for this team, but what else could they potentially come through with?
We're gonna have to see what kind of solutions they have for the next game, but that said, we do still have to see 100 Thieves next wrap this one up cleanly. We'll have to see if they can clear out those wards, make sure that no Malachi TPs, catch them out. A 17k gold lead kind of does help as well. That's kind of disgusting. Do you think that they earn interest on that? It sure felt like they're earning like exponential interest as they go through this game.
Absolutely. It just feels like, oh my gosh, that gold lead, that's sitting at almost 20,000. They're 4k off a 20,000 gold lead.
Yeah, they should invest some of that and maybe save it for the next game, because this game's looking pretty over.
Yeah, make the plays, get a little bit of the rebate back.
Oh
No surprise
man.
there.
I mean, Kenvi has 4 levels over
Ken
Sile,
V
and we
forces
watched
the
him.
flash.
If you watched Big League
Gosh.
last night, where 100 Thieves Next was
Ooh, we
broadcasted,
see
you
the
he was
engage here,
doing this
knock
every
up
game.
Moonlight Vigil in the mid lane. We're seeing the root come through onto Otto, but St. Dowd's going to get bursted by the backline from Yeon. Otto trying to
Oh
make the
no.
escape. The dredge line Zyle too far forward. Yeon going to get the kill on the backline. Now Spirix, the one of attention here. A good root with the Nether's Grab, but the Calirum comes
Oh.
through. It's a double kill for Yeon as Kemby finally makes his way to the plate here. A
Oh.
great spear for the double. Now it's Gibble just trying to pick up the pieces. We see a great flash out of that dredge line here, but Kemby's not done yet. Looks to continue the chase here. That spear's not quite going to hit, but he just launches for the extended range. Gibble to be rooted. Meanwhile, the ace going the way of Otto and 100 Thieves next in an incredible fashion. Managed to just rip apart Dark Matter. What?
100 Thieves Next with a dominant victory as we do have a gift being given over at the end of the game.
And
You
the
know, it
game
wasn't Phantom
Zyle
outcome,
here,
but
Tenacity. They're just playing this so aggressively. The dredge line coming out there. They're just absolutely flexing here on Dark Matter at this point. They don't even care about the turrets. Just an incredible amount of disrespect. But game one, in just clean fashion, going over the way of 100 Thieves next.
good game coming out from 100 Thieves Next. And, you know, this is what we've come to expect of this team in Amateur. Just really taking it to, it doesn't matter who they face. They're taking it to every single team they go against. And Dark Matter, you know, who we've seen upset really good teams in Amateur.
Right.
They've taken the 2-0 against teams like Maryville. They've knocked off teams like Full Spectrum. But this game against 100 Thieves Next felt like it was just a little bit too much, as you know, they were playing for more of that mid-game, later game spike, and 100 Thieves Next broke that pretty early
Right.
with good plays around the map.
I definitely think if you are the side of Dark Matter here, you want to go into that next game and look to stunt the bit of bleeding that you saw very early from them. Any amount of lead that goes the way of 100 Thieves next is going to transition into an incredible mid to late game. You need to prevent those early mistakes and look to get the team rolling in something a bit more cohesive. If you don't have any of that, you're just giving the free game over.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what kind of approach they use. Maybe they think that the scaling comp is still the way to go. It's the best chance.
Right.
Maybe they try and take a little bit more agency across, you know, the mid lane. I know that I've seen Spirax play incredibly well on so many champions that include, you know, Galio or Azir, something that, you know, might give you some sort of pressure before the 20-minute mark, whereas Victor scales so incredibly hard, but is very weak early. So curious to see what kind of adjustments Dark Matter have
Right.
to make as they go into game 2. But for now, I know that we've got to send it to a break.
Yeah, we'll be right back as we get everything organized here between these two teams, but stick around in what could potentially be the last game of the series.
To hold our heads up high and beat the drum to what we love. Risk the fall, we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding, only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the
All right, welcome back after that exciting game one here. 100 Thieves Next looks absolutely disgusting on the Rift here. That being
Ooh.
said, though, we are already hot into the second ban phase here, seeing 100 Thieves ban out the Jin, Jarvan, Orin, Supernova, Dark Matter, respectively, again with the Varus Syndra set.
So you might be wondering, why did 100 Thieves Next ban out Jin? It's the Spider Queen special. And I've seen them play Jin into a lot of comps successfully, so gonna take that one away, but the Callista does get through. It's gonna be a different look for Yon in that bot lane, as he's gonna take the Callista with auto, so gonna have to see how they play this lane. I have to say, I haven't seen 100 Thieves Next play a whole lot of Callista. They usually play through the top side of the map, so gonna be curious to see if they maybe play through bot side this time around, as they do take that pick.
The Kog'Maw is looking to line up here for Supernova Dark Matter. That, of course, should be paired with the Lulu in my perfect opinion. So already getting the bot lane matchups out of the way here.
You can also pair it with a Braum and then put Lulu Karma in the mid lane, which I'm curious to see if they do. Would pick Spearex in a much more supportive role, but it's still an option for them. But they are going to lock in that Lulu, and keep in mind that is a flex. We've seen more Lulu mid cropping up once again of late. Everyone's favorite pick is coming back.
Yeah, I will say, if I was the side of Dark Matter, you hold a lot of strength through Spear Axe. I would look to put him on a role that can definitely potentially carry through for the team here. And it's not to say that something like Lulu or Karma doesn't have that option. I just feel like something a bit more with heavy pressure through the damage would basically maybe work out a bit better for him, but not to say it can't potentially happen. That flex is there for a reason. In response, though, we do see the bot lane finished out with the Blitzcrank. That's going to be potentially pretty rough here for the side of Dark Matter.
Ballista, baby. I just love, like going back like into like the mid lane picks, like everyone's crying about Corki Azir, and Riot just goes, oh, so you don't like Corki Azir, huh? Let's bring back Lulu Karma, baby. See how you guys like that now. Throw a bunch of shields around the mid lane, but that said, still could be a Lulu bot, but I'd actually love to see Dark Matter try and counter that Blitzcrank and put the Lulu mid. If they can grab a good support here, things like a Braum, things like an Alistar do so well into the Blitzcrank. And they could pair it with the Kog'Maw and try and get him a much better start. You could also go with a Karma, which is a easier lane in the Blitz. Still not ideal, but easier. That said, it is going to be a jungle walk-in, and I'm surprised to see them banning out top laners.
Yeah,
they do have the option to ban out 2 junglers.
Yeah, they definitely do, and it's kind of hard to target the pool of tenacity here. Yeah, there we go. Turns around and goes for the Trundle instead. We're going to see the Yasuo response. One big thing, the Sejuani pick coming out through for Xyle here on Supernova. Very surprising to see that pulled out here. It's not one of the many picks he tries to run with. Usually he optimally picks through with something that's a bit more aggressive that can potentially get these lanes ahead. Not to say that Sejuani cannot, but with that tank role being more prevalent for that in the jungle there, it's a bit surprising to see him pull back to a bit of a different state on this game matter.
Yeah, I've seen him opting more for like the Zacs. He loves his Zac over on Dark Matter, but I said gonna be the Sejuani. I still think this is I feel like a lot of jungle picks are underused right now, and I think Sejuani works. So Dark Matter, once again, you know, we're going to that story of the last game. They kind of got blown out in the early game. They're going to say, you know what, guys? That was just a fluke. We're going to take the scaling again, see if we can survive the storm of 100 Thieves Next, and try and get to that late game where, you know, we know that Dark Matter, if they get there as a team, they're so cohesive. They team fight so well. And that's going to be the play. And Sejuani Aurelia, that can go mid and counter the Zoe. They can also put it top, but it's a very strong combination. So, like the fact they're taking that pick, and we're going to have to see what Tenacity does, because it looks like he might be blind picking here.
I'm really interested to see if Supernova can take the time to slow the game down. The pace of last game continued to ramp up as we made it through the early game and eventually left Dark Matter in the dust, quite literally. So
I think we're going to have Rek'Sai and Mord. Yeah, Mordekaiser's locked in here.
Mord's instantly thrown in, so the prediction is absolutely just on point.
Yeah, we've seen Tenacity take this blind pick and do very well with it. He seems to be very comfortable on this champion. You have a lot of different builds that you can go for. We've seen him go Wits End Rush Mordekaiser. You can go Nashor's Tooth or just the Andres. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Rek'Sai here too. Just having a good matchup against Sejuani, going all in for this early game.
Ooh,
hold off.
Speaking even all in.
Okay. Yeah. So I like what 100 Thieves has here. One thing that Tenacity does really well on this Mordekaiser is that he actually ults the support, right? Because you isolate the support away from the Kog'Maw. It's a very strong way to make that pick a lot weaker. So look out for that in team fights, and let's see if Dark Matter can actually find the QSS in the inventory. Because when we saw Tenacity take this pick and play it in the pole race, they didn't buy a single QSS in sight, and they got punished hard for it.
So a bit of the tax pushed down onto Dark Matter at that point. Gameplay going to come out here for the top side, completing the entire comp here, and then just, ooh, that's a pick to pull against Tenacity, in my opinion.
It is. It's because it's Tenacity's favorite champion.
Yeah.
Right? But it does do okay to Mordekaiser. You can somewhat keep him at range. You can use the orange to get out of the Death Realm. But once again, Tenacity, when he gets into those fights, he's going to take the Lulu, take the Kog'Maw away, play it out from there. So it's very strong. We're gonna have to see how he can split up those fights because 100 Thieves next. They're going all for this early game. The first 15 minutes of the game are going to be so incredibly important for them as they try and get this comp rolling and off the ground. Because if they do get ahead early, they can roll the side of Dark Matter once again.
You think we're going to see the invade?
Oh yeah,
Potentially. Oh yeah.
Blitzcrank Goldloff, you kidding me? That's free invade. Something that they do a lot though is the late invade. I wouldn't be surprised to see 100 Thieves late invade the red side to try and make something happen there with the Zoe, with this Mordekaiser. Once again, Olaf's level 1 being so incredibly strong, and we're gonna have to look out to see if Dark Matter actually appropriately wards around that to try and scout it out. Because if not, that's the last thing you want to do is going against an Olaf is give up that early red buff and have to seed the other side of the jungle too because of how fast he clears and how dominant he is in those early trades.
I mean, that's going to make for the bit of the excitement here for 100 Thieves, but I really do want to see Dark Matter slow the pace of the game down, play it a bit more safe, and potentially scale and bring it back. Because when this team has their mind all in the same place, if they're all looking to appropriately play for, say, what could be the Spider Queen, say, in this matchup on that Kog'Maw, it could definitely work out in their benefit. But like you said, if they leave it running and that early game goes awash like we saw in game 1, that's it. Series is over.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And that's something that I actually like from Dark Matter so much is that, as a team, they don't have the strongest individual players. I think that a lot of their individual players are strong. This game, we do have Fire Theft hopping in instead of Gibble. I love Fire Theft's Gangplank. I feel like he's a very strong player. Spearaxe is a beast. But a lot of the pieces around them, that their strength doesn't come from their individual play, right? It comes from their team play. And I think it makes it really fun to watch because they use that team play to beat teams that you'd think that Dark Matter shouldn't have any business beating. Yeah, so I really want to see it if they can kind of draw upon those skills and scale this game out. And, if they make it long, they have a big advantage. So we're going to have to see if Spearaxe and Zyle can kind of bridge them into that mid to late game because this early game is going to be quite the storm coming in from 100 Thieves next.
Even if they don't manage to pull out the game as a whole here for the side of Supernova Dark Matter, I would like to see how they potentially play it across the board, though. This is, in a sense, a great way to limit test the strength of your team here. You're playing against one of the best teams, of course, in the amateur scene as a whole. It really can push you against the wall and say, all right, what do you really excel at and what is your intentional weaknesses? So I'm really curious to see if Supernova Dark Matter kind of gets up off the wall and they really try to test it out here, even if they're just looking to scale, because at the end of the day, they can pull back to the spot here and look at it and say, all right, this is what we have to learn.
Yeah, and that's all stuff that we're going to have to see once we dive into the game. But I know that we're going to go to a short break here before we dive into game 2. So we're going to cut to break, make sure we get that proper delay in, that we're all set up and ready to go. Don't touch that browser because we do have 100 Thieves next against Dark Matter. 100 Thieves next, taking that first game, see if Dark Matter can make it interesting, possibly taking this game too. We'll have to see once we dive into the game.
right, we are back in it here into the second game here, and we had a little bit of the prediction beforehand, and it already looks like it is playing out here. I know Cubby is looking for the weight invade into the red side, as he said, and it already looks like 100 Thieves are lining this one up.
Oh, yeah. When you've got this level 1, you've got to use it. And 100 Thieves next, they're going to group up. Try and see if they can get anything down. They are spotted out. There's a very nice scouting ward being dropped there by Zyle. Did base and grab that sweeper as well. So, nice prep coming in from Dark Matter. Realizing that they don't stand a chance with this level 1. I'm curious to see if they are 100 Thieves next still opts to go for a fight or any sort of late invade. Because, once again, they win this level 1 very hard.
Oh, absolutely. Looking to see if they can continue to slow the pace of the game down, continue to assess the information. I'm really looking to watch out here for Kenvi because just 1 or 2 kills, and he's going to run your jungle like he did with the Nidalee in game 1. And once Ragnarok comes online, there's literally nothing from the side of Supernova here that can even slow him down.
Yeah, well, that's, Ragnarok does remove unstoppables. That's the whole point of that. But
he's already here.
Cancel you down.
He's already here.
Yeah, he's already here.
He gives no care in the world. 100 Thieves next. They are looking to take this blue buff immediately. And Supernova Dark Matter knows that they can't take it. So it's over.
They can't take the fight. I called it. I hate to say it.
Did you?
I hate to say it. That's going to be a good start, though, for Kenvi on the Olaf. And you can see how aggressive he's playing. He didn't retreat from that, right? He didn't say, all right, let's move off. That's it. No, he's going for wolves. He's going for that entire side of the jungle. And curious to see if he does make it a split map. Looks like he is going to as he's crossing over from mid to his blue side jungle. Or maybe he's walking in to find Sejuani once again.
I love this. Kenvi doesn't care. He knows. He wants you to know he's here, and he's waiting. Ooh, Spirix here. Gonna launch forward. Gets a great stun on a copy. We're gonna see that Redemption come down, get a little bit of the heal going. Spirix can take a bit of damage. Flashes forward for the first blood. Dodges the slow on the axe. Very nice play from Dark Matter Spirax.
Yeah, and we've talked about Spirax. If anyone's going to start bringing Dark Matter back, it's going to be Spirax. He, played okay on a not very proactive pick in that last game, and now he has the proactivity, and with that, Irelia finds the solo kill on the copy. Oh my goodness.
Someone's got to restart the router. That's my excuse for this.
Did a hamster die?
No, it was copy.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's why Copy got solo killed. The router died. That was it. That's a good excuse.
Absolutely. You gotta always pull back and get the excuses going. I mean, it's obvious though. We don't see that ever.
I know that you guys can't see all chat in the game, but we do have a request coming in from Tenacity to get things fixed up so we can watch Phineas and Ferb. Which I have to say, great show. All-time great show.
Who's your favorite character?
Oh, Phineas, dude. Come on. He's the protagonist.
He's the protagonist. I didn't know the child's television show even had a protagonist.
See, every show's an anime. I'm not even a fan of anime, but there has to be the anime protagonist. It's Phineas. But also Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah, I was going to say Dr. Doofenshmirtz is... Especially if... looking back.
You see the meme about Dr. Doofenshmirtz as like the PS5?
Yes!
Yeah, that was a banger. That was a banger.
I love the Jotaro memes with it as well.
Oh yeah, there's been some really good ones with the PS5. I think my favorite one has been Kyber so far. From Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh! With the jacket.
That was hands down the best.
I love this.
Tenacity actually gonna whiff some skill shots here in the top lane.
Trying to chase out Fire Theft, but Fire Theft not quite the Gibble that we know and love. He's able to take the fight. He's gonna play it aggressively.
Meanwhile, on that bot side of the map, we still have Callista and Blitzcrank pushed up so far. It's one of the benefits of your jungler, really getting in the face of the enemy as well, is that you get to find out, where the enemy jungler is, and allows you to play aggressively across the entire map. Kenvi's done such a good job of that. You can see Callista hitting that sweeper as well to spot Zyle out once again. So 100 Thieves next, off to a good start, ensuring they can play very aggressive in these lanes.
Tenacity constantly stepping forward here. He's going to get that pullback. The passive is ignited here. Fire Theft forced to run away. Finally, something worked out in favor. Now we see Otto and Kenvi lining up here. Ooh. Not quite going to hit that hook. It was close. It was close. I was waiting for the blow off, though.
Just want to see a Ballista combo.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Fate's Call gonna come down, slam him in you.
So that's really what we came here for, is the ballistic combo. Win or lose, I don't really care. I just want to see that once.
Supernova, no big deal. 100 Thieves doesn't matter. Ooh, great stun there. Gonna force the cleanse out a copy. Meanwhile, the bubble trouble gonna come down. Not quite hitting anything. Can be there with a great response. Spearx not gonna be picking up a kill anytime soon.
Schwanni's
This
here.
time. Ooh.
You can stack that
quite
passive really
able.
fast.
He's able to get that passive up. The stun coming down there. Another cleanse. Meanwhile, can be a little bit too far, but another storm going to come through.
Oh,
Spearx
beautiful.
picks that one up. The drowsy bubble going to come out back line. He actually dashed forward. What are you doing, Copy?
Copy making a donation to the local food bank run by Spearx, as he's going to give that one over.
It's the
And
router.
Dark
You
Matter. It's the router. Dark Matter. What a great start from them.
Yeah, looking good. Fire Theft and Tenacity taking an aggressive fight
Zyle's
to
top.
each other. Zyle potentially looking for the play here. He is in position here. Can he make the assessment on the correct bush? He's found Tenacity out here. The stun's going to come through. He gets the pull through, gets that stack, pass it up. Oh, that flash.
What a start from
Unnecessary.
Dark Matter. They've gotten kills in every single
Keep
lane
it
but bot,
up.
and the fact they're only down
Keep
10
it
CS in the bot lane is a win too.
Gubby, my hope is just infinite right now here for Dark Matter.
Great start.
No, absolutely. Spearaxe, of course, here. Now 3-0 on this Irelia, giving 100 Thieves a little bit a taste of their own medicine here. Another great stun on a copy, forces that flash out. I like it. I like the aggression.
Yeah, and this mid lane matchup, I mean, Copy is in trouble. The fact that Spearaxe, ever since the change to the Irelia W, many people have thinks that this is a real skill matchup, and Spearaxe taking it to Copy
Right.
and winning that 1v1 aggressively. He's got 3 kills to his name now.
Ooh, auto here. I'm as hyped as you, Cubby. I want to see it happen. And he's pushing. These waves are constantly lining up. No hook
Not quite.
today. I'm just waiting. Oh, by the way, either way on the side here, Kenby was able to secure the first dragon of the game. Meanwhile, with the priority he has for himself being an Olaf. So no surprise there, but that's just a little bit
Being
of
an
a pacing.
Olaf is nice.
Hey, you can take dragon solo in half the time of anyone else.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things early, and Kenby is cashing in on that, as he has the most CS on his team, minus the 80 carry on his side, and Tenacity
Good
landing that
pull
clause
back.
and win that trade.
I was hoping to see the realm come down there, but not quite. When the orange is available, it doesn't quite work.
Yeah, it's orange and it's all okay.
It's okay, man.
Yeah, been true since season 1 of League of Legends.
I'm glad it still stands to this day, even through with the reworks.
Pretty sure that Freak would have left Riot if they removed that.
Ooh,
It's like his
autumn
number
here.
one fun.
Vanguard's edge knocked up, stunned out. Drowsy comes down. He's trying to make his way to the enemy turret to end himself a little bit quicker there. Doesn't matter. Gonna go down. Meanwhile, the kill going over to Copy. Great collapse though from 100 Thieves.
Good play from 100 Thieves. They needed to make a play to somewhat save that lane. They're able to pull it off, and the shutdown, most importantly, goes over to Copy.
Can be.
Can be.
Ooh, that smite gonna secure the red buff there for Zyle. Ooh, Fate's Call. We see a Blitzcrank launch forward there. The hook.
Ooh. Got the flash out of
Doesn't
Spider Queen.
connect.
Got the flash out of Spider Queen, most importantly. So, Cogbot with no flash puts a big target on his head. Nice play coming in here from Tenacity throwing that skill shot in the Narnia. That really got me distracted.
Hey, you don't know what they're seeing on their screen, so you can't judge them too hard.
I mean, that's true. We couldn't see any Ezreal Qs or ults on our screen last game, so who knows what they're seeing.
Either way here, we see the lineup from Zyle potentially to make an impact here on this bot side for Supernova Dark Matter, potentially get a lead going the way in favor of the Spider Queen. This Kog'Maw continually going to be looking to scale up all game long, but they back before anything can happen. And I like the slow pace of the game. That's exactly what I was looking for. It doesn't have as aggressive as it was in game one.
Dark Matter could not have asked for a better start. The fact that their rock in Spearaxe is rolling in this mid lane, the fact that they were able to get off to a start in this bot lane where they haven't bled any kills, right? They're down a flash, but the fact that this Kog'Maw is down 10 creeps is a giant win for the side of Dark Matter, because once these lights start, he severely outranges the Callista, especially with all the extra abilities that he gets from Lulu being on his team. So this is a really good start for Dark Matter. And we're going to have to see when they start pushing the pace. Are they going to contest this Rift Herald? Are they going to try and contest the next Dragon? Really up to them as to when they start having the confidence to win these fights against the very early game team of 100 Thieves next.
Right, but the early game can only last for so long. We're hitting that 10-minute period finally. Everyone's got everything on board almost, of course, except for St. Daniel. But either way, we finally should start to see a bit more of an aggressive playstyle from both these times here. Ooh, Spirex could potentially look to go in. He's got the rotation here from Dark Matter as a whole.
Ooh, they see Kenvy on Rift Herald. Their team's rotating for it.
Spirex spots out Otto. Isn't able to hit the stun, though. So we're going to see the rotation come back. Vanguard's going to come out quite early there. Going to see a little bit of the poke. Forces the flash out there. Now Tenacity going to be the one of target here. Throws the Death Rum down. Taking Xyle in there.
He wins these.
He does win these. That passive is disgusting. Xyle looking to escape. Gets a good stun off before he goes down. The Spirit's going to finish up that kill. And now they continue to collapse onto 100 Thieves. 3 kills going their way. Fire Theft with the double kill. And Dark Matter finally coming back into these games.
Spider Queen based and rotated, and Yon did not, so they had numbers at the back half of that team fight, giving them that win.
Ooh,
what
great
a good
stun.
play.
Oh, sorry, I was just looking to see that finish up.
Yeah, Spirax playing very well on this early, showing some mastery there, and they can snowball this into the second Dragon. Tenacity's TPing into the top lane. That pretty much cedes all pressure to the Dragon.
Also, by the way, Xyle able to survive the entirety of the Realm of Death there, getting off the stun on Tenacity, preventing him from continuing the aggression into this backline, and then just disgusting. But now St. Daniel going to be spotted out here. Xyle, though, with a great response. We see that knockup come through there. Otto going to be stunned out finally. Spider Queen finally making the rotation. The Fate's Call going to be saving the day here, but it's going to get the double knockup into the response. Kenby finally making the arrival here. The slow's going to come down, and the Spider Queen going to go down as well as Kenby gets the Ren down. Now Xyle looking for the escape here, but he's slowed to a halt. A double kill going the way of Eon.
Yeah, that, I don't know what Kog'Maw is, but that pig just got skewered with how many spears were inside Sejuani there. As a really good job by Yon and Otto stalling out that team fight.
Slow coming out there. Copy gonna use the cleanse flash coming through there. Another flash in response to get the kill. Spirax lining his wallet here, continuing to be the aggressor. Able to pick up a little bit of some substance back here, but the drag does go the way of 100 Thieves again.
I love how aggressive he's playing, too. He's not second-guessing himself and going for these plays. I mean, burning flash so early to secure these kills and really just full sending it, doing everything he can to really get his team past the finish line and push the series to a game 3.
This is the perfect game to limit test. If you lose, you lost to 100 Thieves next. If you win, you've just learned so much here. So go ahead, try everything you have.
I mean, pretty much Dark Matter got the limit testing out of them last game. This game they're playing for real. This game they're playing for real.
No. The hope at the end of the tunnel, Cubby. The hope at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, I know. They have a lot of hope this game. They're playing very well in this set, and it's been off the back of Spirax, but they still have to survive the early game onslaught as two Dragons and the Rift Herald went over to 100 Thieves next. They throw it down to, harass that mid lane tower. They don't knock it down, but get some plates over to the side of Copy. It's going to feel nice.
Yeah. Give some gold back in the pocket of 100 Thieves next, whether they need it or not.
Setup. I love the lane setup coming out here from Dark Matter. Irelia is so strong. They're putting her in the side lane early this game. So giving her the freedom to, have that long lane. You can see Olaf is even being brought down to try and make sure this Callista survives, but Sejuani's lying away to see if they can actually make a play.
See Kemi launching for their auto, unable to hit that hook there. A great dash from Xyle, but with the wave about to crash in, could potentially see Resurgent, but the rotation from the mid lane, they're not quite too confident. Otto, just go for the hook. Go for the hook. Yes! The silence, the knockup, it's all great. He's able to dash over the wall, though. That passive armor. So much potential.
The little piggy that could made it out of there. As Otto, I think that hook was blind, but still manages to find the needle in the haystack there. Manages to pull. I think Sejuani's character's model is a lot bigger than Spirax, but
very aggressive, unable to hit the stun. We see the cannon barrage going to come down. The knockup going to come through there. Spirax getting just ripped to shreds. Good movement there from Otto. 2v1, not quite the potential for Spirax yet.
You can see Spearex, he knows that he has to be the one that makes these plays on the Aurelia, but not able to find that one, even with the help of the Gangplank call.
Zyle here.
Meanwhile,
Copy here looking for the escape. The extended range from Spider Queen doing its best to rip her to shreds, taking a half health. Finally, we see her going to see that stun come down, and with the ultimate, Spider Queen's able to pick up another kill for himself, continuing the scaling on this Kog'Maw. Love to see it.
that's not the champion that you want to see get fed if you're 100 Thieves.
Ooh, Fire Theft?
Fire Theft.
Thrown into the realm of death. Going to use that orange to get out, but Kemby is there waiting on the sidelines. Should have stayed inside. It was a bit of the bait.
Could have stayed inside the death realm. Fire Theft going to go down there a little bit too far up as Kenvi. It's about time Kenvi made a pass at Tenacity, but I like seeing 100 Thieves next to this. You know, they took a dominant Game 1 victory against the team that they expect to beat. They're trying to play through bot side, which this team really doesn't play through bot side at all. I can't emphasize that enough. But I like seeing them make that attempt in this series as they, try and diversify their playstyle, try and add some versatility to their team. And it's good also to see Dark Matter really playing well against that and punishing it, as they still are off to a good start this game. 100 Thieves next. They've now cracked open a 2K gold lead, but Dark Matter is very much in this game, and they do have that late game scaling comp.
Yep, definitely looks to play out well here. 7-9. The 2,000 gold lead is much better than the almost 20,000 we saw in Game 1. So, great job.
Yeah, it's a bit of a comeback.
Bit.
Yeah, just a bit of a comeback. Fire Theft?
Can be here. You're going to be slammed immediately. The Ragnarok's going to come. Flash out of Fire Theft. What a shame.
I mean, you've got to flash once you see that Ragnarok popped and that barrel's down. You know that you can't do anything else. So I like that from Fire Theft, just making sure that get out of dodge. And once again, 100 Thieves next. Their backs are against the wall. They're starting to feel some pressure. And what do they return to? Good old faithful. And no, it's not the jellyfishing net. It's going to be Kenvi going topside for Tenacity.
Ooh, finally we may see something. Supernova Darkstar.
I just messed up a SpongeBob reference, man. That's old reliable. What am I doing? I never do that.
What you just did. Either way.
I'm disappointed in myself.
Supernova Darkstar actually setting up to contest a dragon for once. Finally could potentially see them pick something up for themselves. The Drowsy Bubble going to hit Zyle. Meanwhile, that poke not looking good for him, especially if they want to look for this contention. Both teleports are up for the top side of the map here. They want to make this play.
Could do this, but they're still going to be the weaker team comp at this point of the game. So unless they are able to isolate a member or find some poke or Zyle,
that was an amazing shield down. Spirit's going to launch for that, forces the flash now, and while Otto going to be surviving with the Fate's Call. Spirit's going to take a massive amount of damage in response there. A good hook to get Spirits back into the team fight. Eon going to get the kill. Meanwhile, Tenacity and Fire Theft have finally arrived. Zyle able to get over the wall, but the flash comes through from Tenacity to pick up the kill in response. Now they look to continue the chase out here onto Dark Matter. The axe going to come down. Fire Queen is just shielded, barely looking for that Ren to come through. Doesn't matter. It's going to be the auto from Otto. Meanwhile, Fire Theft able to get the double kills. We see the chase ensue here from Spire Queen. Now Otto looking to escape, but Fire Theft, the pirate's got legs. He's going to be able to chase this man down. The barrel comes through there. Can he make the explosion happen? He's going to chase it under turn to get the extra speed. The hook comes through, and the stun is going to be the grave for Fire Theft. St. Daniels and Ken be the only survivors of the 4-for-4 there.
You see pings from Dark Matter going down on the Dragon. 100 Thieves next. They didn't need to push for that one. They could have taken the win, just grab the objective, but because of the overextension, Dark Matter comes back, finds the punish, and they're probably going to take this Dragon as well, and we're going to have to see if Kenvi does go over the wall and opt for this, but with respawns coming in,
Zyle's already there.
Tricky. Yeah, we might have another fight, and it looks like Kenvi is giving this one up as Tenacity does take that top 1 turret.
A bit greedy from 100 Thieves, if I could really put it to a good word there, but now
it's more than a bit. That was very greedy. That was very greedy.
Sun coming through here, Kemby maybe look for the steal, not able to hit the Ragnarok. Does come through there. Zyle going to be drowsied out and killed, but not before we see the response there.
No death
now
realm.
They look to chase this one. Tenacity's playing it really far forward there. It's 1-for-1, jungler for jungler, but the Dragon did go the way of Dark Matter. They prevent the soul point for just a bit longer.
And once again, Dark Matter, the fact they have this at a 3k gold deficit for them is still good. You have Kog'Maw working on that Rage Blade. Once he wraps that one up with Lulu buffs, it doesn't really matter what the gold lead is. He's going to be doing work. I'm
so excited, Cubby. If that team fight came out in any other way, or if it was just uneven in a potential, maybe we're seeing the hope, the glimmer just die down a bit. But
Zephyr just wants a game 3. He gets one cast a week. This man works hard to put himself through
they
college.
put
He
me
wants to
back
make
in the
this one worth it.
cage.
He wants to make this cast worth it. He needs this one to go to a game 3. And honestly, at this point, I'm hoping to see it go to a game 3 as
Right.
well. Because, you know, Dark Matter, they're a team that I have a lot of respect for. Teams that they think differently about the game. They have a lot of different picks and counter picks coming out. And I always look forward to teams that, you know, have a different approach on what others are doing. Dark Matter, they do that, and they surprised a lot of teams in SGC. And I feel like they really caught 100 Thieves Next off guard in this one.
Yeah, definitely. It's not said and done just yet. 100 Thieves can easily come back into this one. They've shown time and time again that they are the best of the best here in the amateur scene, but it is so nice to see the slow down, the pace, the dark matter coming through here, putting that cohesive team effort that I talk about so much with this team and looking to punch above their weight level.
Punch above their weight level, they are.
Otto here?
Spirax might be in trouble.
You
Tenacity
can take the 1v1 any day here. Yeon coming out on the side, looking to take this one up. Fate's Call going to be put down. Vanguard's Edge going to come through, but it doesn't matter. Yeon going to be picking up the kill there. This Callista, surprisingly quite fed.
Did that ballista like knock up from coming out of the Callista ult? Did that actually cancel the dash of Spirax? Because it looked like he was dashing into the Callista and just might have gotten stymied right in his tracks as he hit the robots. So I'm not sure if that's the interaction, but interesting to see. Spirax trying to overextend a little bit in that side lane once again. He was 3-1 with the dominant lane phase, but is coming back to earth now as 100 Thieves Next have managed to pick him off a couple times.
100 Thieves Next taking a decent amount of control here in the enemy jungle. No surprise they do that quite a bit, but finally getting a bit of more pacing back on their side. Turret going to go down here from Fire Theft. Tenacity not quite looking for the chase. Oh, love that minion block.
Good old minion block. Yeah, Tenacity, you know, as Tenacity always is playing for his hopes and dreams of amateur. And, you know, if he fails, he does go to work at McDonald's. So I'd say, you know, for these games, I don't think he has to serve any shifts on the drive-through. He's done pretty well in this series. But still looking to get that win, you know, make sure his team gets the good old 2-0.
Until next week.
Until next week, yeah. I love, dude, the Tenacity, if any of you guys, for whatever reason, don't follow him on Twitter, loves to Photoshop McDonald's hats on people like Papa Smithy, always point ahead, other people in the amateur scene that are of note, and likes to joke himself that, you know, if he doesn't do well, he has to go serve a shift, so, you know, living that with... what a hook.
Otto!
God crank coming
Finally!
out.
I can't even cast that because it just happened too fast. Now we see the Rift Herald played down in the mid lane. The pressure's coming through.
That's the game.
Next. No,
Not yet. I just want to make that joke, yeah.
Not in my house, Cubby.
Not yet. But that is going to be the Baron going over the side of 100 Thieves Next off of that beautiful hook coming out from Otto.
That was so good. It's funny because Zyle could have taken that hook and more than decently survived probably out of that fight.
He wanted the hook in the dog, man. He's leaving the pig out. The pig stays outside. The dog needs to come in, sleep inside the house, you know, at night. That's how it works. Is
it how it works? I feel like pigs would be great pillows.
I don't live on a farm, but I kind of think that's how it works.
Realm of Death. We're gonna see the damage coming through. Gets the Bork here. Fire Theft is ready to fight this one out whenever. Death Realm's finally out. Vanguard's gonna through here. The passive's going to burn down. Tenacity gets the kill there. Now Firefest looking for the chase. The shutdown as Tenacity finally gets brought to the end here. Shame what happened to Spirax, but it's all you can hope for.
I think Tenacity ordered up a McDouble, but got the wrong order there as he found an extra member.
Massive whiff from Zyle there. The stun's going to come through from Otto. Flash has to be absorbed there. Meanwhile, we do see that Ren, but as well as Wildgrowth. So many ultimates expended from Dark Matter.
Dark Matter burns the Watt. Yeah, and guess what? That dragon is just about to spawn. That should be going over to the side of 100 Thieves Next and putting them on soul point. So nice, once again, nice hook coming out from Otto, helping really control the pace of this game. And it's been good seeing a lot of the improvement come out from Otto because, you know, he is role swapped. He was an AD carry playing for teams like CLG Academy. He is the veteran on this roster, and seeing him, you know, bring that veteran leadership with his shot calling, but now also backing it up with more of his support play, is that has drastically improved of late, has been really good to see.
No, absolutely. This team continues to surprise me week by week, continues to just get better and better, and I love that. But it's definitely proving a gap here in the amateur scene.
Yeah, definitely proving a gap here in the amateur scene. But that said, Dark Matter is looking to close that gap with a win in this game. They do
Please.
find themselves down 6K gold, but they still have hope. They still
Hey,
have
it's not
the
20.
black hole of scaling, which is the Kog'Maw. You know, considering the fact that he does scale infinitely, and I really should have looked more up about black holes before I started going on this tangent, but I thought it sounded kind of cool with Dark Matter, so we're just gonna run with it.
No, they do scale infinitely.
Yeah,
So
it's through the Kog'Maw.
the black hole comp. I love it. That's actually
the
what
black
I should
hole
call
comp?
the black
Oh,
hole
God,
comp.
what would I? Okay, if there was like a black hole comp in League, I think it would have to involve Malzahar, right?
Oh,
Like he
absolutely.
puts you in the void. Yeah.
Ooh, Otto gonna be potentially caught out here. The hook gonna come through there. Fate's Call gonna save. Gonna the knock up in the response. Yeon gets a massive play for himself there. Vanguard's Ed coming here from Spirits. So we see the teleport from Fire Theft. Kemi gonna get the kill on his Zal. Meanwhile, as Spirits is deep in his backline, getting the response onto Yeon. Now, Copy has arrived, and the poke is absurd. A great hook again from Otto as Tenacity picks off St. Daniel. Spirits looking for the escape here in the enemy jungle. Potentially could see the chase here from 100 Thieves next. You've already got Copy there ready and available. The stun not quick enough, but the Drowsy does! And Copy picks up a kill here. 100 Thieves next, now looking to run the base down. Fire Theft, the only available member currently. That inhib is gone.
Man, that rocket grab into Death's grasp, that the hook coming out from Auto and Tenacity was beautiful, but not as beautiful as the Ballista. The play was made. We can all go home. Still going to see if Dark Matter sends this one to a game 3, but breaking that inhibitor, 100 Thieves next, really does takes a big step towards, you know, getting themselves this game to win, as they just broke open the map.
My gosh. Otto. We talked about a little bit of that level up here that he's shown in this game, but that play as a whole, getting the initial hook onto the Spider Queen, coming back with the Fate's Call. Amazing. Turning around, getting an additional hook to secure the kill there onto, I believe it was St. Daniel.
Yes. I mean, it was a nice setup because, you know, it was drowsied, but the fact they combined the rocket grab into the claw from Mordekaiser into the hammer, that Lulu was sent to quite the fancy grave. It was a customized tombstone for sure.
Absolutely. So if going back to before the team fight, if you have the black hole comp, what's the counter to the black hole comp? What counters a black hole?
Lux, light, right?
Okay, so Malzahar Lux. Is that what you just told me?
No, you'd have to have Lux into the black hole comp.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm basing this
Soraka?
off of lore. We're gonna have to keep on, you know, thinking about how we can incorporate this one into the
Ooh.
game. Ooh.
Big poke there. Zal going to be on the backline. Gets the lockdown onto Zal. Meanwhile, we see the Fates Call again,
re-engage?
potentially for another set
TP.
up. Fire Theft going to be poked down. The Drowsy coming through there on the sideline, but a good knock up on the Zal. Great kill there, secured for Yawn. What a shame, though. Went in deep, tried to set something up, and then just got absolutely blasted for it.
Yeah, and I love that TP coming in from Tenacity. You can see how they split Zyle off from the rest of his team, really giving 100 Thieves next that free kill, and they're going to snowball that one into more objectives. You can see them setting up the siege for that top lane turret, taking control of this topside jungle, which is perfect timing considering the fact that Baron is just about to spawn again.
I'll say that if Baron is taken over here for the side of 100 Thieves next, it is game. So I'm curious to see what the side of Supernova can do here to just contest that as much as they can. Either way, everything continues to push out. Jeez, Spider Queen going to be hit hard there from Copy on the side. Meanwhile, he continues to throw the poke out here. No surprise. They're waiting for them to face check. Lining up here. SPX almost getting the dash there onto Copy's portal jump. Ooh, good hook there onto Zal. The sound's going to come through. Knock up in response. Wild Growth gonna try to save the day. Meanwhile, we see the escape. Spider Queen a bit too slow. The poke gonna be dodged and deflected there from the side of Fire Theft. The orange gonna come through to save the day. Copy trying to get more poke off here, but it's not enough. Neither is team picking out here. Now the slow from the board comes out here out of the stun.
Could re-engage
from Spirix. What a great hook again. A knock up onto Fire Theft. The orange comes through, pulls it back. The cannon barrage gonna be coming through to slow it down a bit. Fire Theft not quite out of this one now. Spider Queen launching for there with the autos. Auto gonna be saved with the Fates Call. Pushes back. Could re-engage, but they do not choose to. Slams him back down here.
He's on the
Neither
dragon.
team picks up anything. Spirix looking to chase this one out, tries to step forward with that minion wave. Now copy a bit low there, could look for potential. Xyle wants it. He gets the bloodlust, but nothing. Neither teams.
Yeah. Honestly, that was the first fight, though, that we've seen from Dark Matter where they were able to reset without having one of their members just get exploded by 100 Thieves next, which is a good sign for them. They still have the scaling. We saw Spider Queen pump out a lot of damage in that fight when he was able to go untouched and, have the help of this Lulu, but still, that said, the Cloud Drake and the Cloud Soul, the big objective, goes over to 100 Thieves next. They are nursing a 9k gold lead. And while Dark Matter has put up much more of a fight and has looked much better this game, they still find themselves behind.
Absolutely. Now they got to look to contest this Baron Lord. It is definitely over and prevalent here. You see the rotations coming out the back from Fire Theft here to get himself something before he gets back here. Teleport comes through there. Baron is down and out here now. 100 Thieves have to look to make the escape or the engagement. Great hook on his Spider Queen immediately from Otto. Going to be taken out instantly. The Vanguard's edge deep in the backline. It's going to be used into the death realm as Kennedy gets the kill on to Xyle there. Tenacity just ripping through Spear Axe there. Try and take this man out. Going to use the stopwatch as Fire Theft and St. Daniel. Tried to make the escape. Flash forward as Otto gets another hook. Knockup comes through as Yawn, finishing off that kill. Meanwhile, in that backline, we see Spear Axe finally go down. The only member left alive is St. Daniel's. But as I said, with the Baron secured, 100 Thieves next is all but done with this entire series.
And that should be the game going over to 100 Thieves next off the back of Otto's Blitzcrank. I mean, what a beast. I don't know how he found Kog'Maw, but he found Kog'Maw 3 times in these fights. So some mispositioning coming out from Spider Queen, but also very good play and punishes coming out from Otto.
They're just sitting on this.
We're getting
Xyle here. Actually, comes out. Anacado. Otto's going to be taken through. The Fate's Call saving the day there. Tenacity now looking for the escape. The ult coming down. The stun going to be utilized. Spider Queen trying to pump out some damage here, but the Realm of Death is going to be used. Meanwhile, knocks him back up. Xyle's going to go down in the bot lane. Doesn't matter. You see the pumping damage come out from Yawn. It's all over. 100 Thieves next wins the series as a whole.
Yeah, and Dark Matter, a lot better showing that game. They almost got this late game comp over the edge. You could see that just team fight where Spider Queen wasn't hooked in first, was able to find the reset, was able to pump out a lot of return damage, but it just wasn't enough. And 100 Thieves next. This is the type of play and performance that we've come to expect out of this team, and that is dominance. The fact that, they have players like Tenacity and Kenvi that just seem to gap their roles every single game, and they did that in Game 1. Game 2 was much closer with Dark Matter having a very good showing and some good early game play from Spear Axe, but just couldn't turn that one into a win.
I definitely think the side of Dark Nova, wow. Supernova Dark Matter, I like the improvement here into Game 2. They got absolutely washed in Game 1. That's no contention there. But seeing them slow it down and try to take the contention back against the 100 Thieves is really good in sight of the span of this entire amateur scene here, and does prove why Dark Matter occasionally is able to, like we've been saying, punch above their weight level. So no surprise there.
If you keep on saying, if they punch above their weight level, like, what if that's just their weight level, right? I really think that Dark Matter is, like, it's weird, because they are a sister team and the secondary roster is a Supernova, but I feel like Dark Matter is actually kind of playing up to even the same level that Supernova is, like the main squad, because they have been taking big wins off of teams like Maryville, off of teams like Full Spectrum, where we don't expect Dark Matter to be winning those series, but they are. That said, not managing to find it here, but this is what I would say is the top team in amateur right now. I almost talked about tiers. We don't want to get into tier list
not
anymore.
Yet.
No, we managed to go a whole broadcast without touching on those. We don't need to touch on those anymore. But 100 Thieves next, another dominant win coming out from them. This is what we expect from this roster. Dark Matter, they did get blown out Game 2 or Game 1. Props for them for coming back Game 2, finding that early game lead, trying to hold on with the late game team comp, but ultimately 100 Thieves next, a little bit too powerful, broke that, found that 2-0 win.
Well, with that being said, I want to thank everyone this evening for coming out and supporting us here on the official Supernova stream. A big shout out to K-Tad here. You don't really get to see it, but he's been running the production for all this. So always got to support those who are behind the scenes. But on the behalf of Supernova Dark Matter, 100 Thieves next, my color, of course, Cubby here, and of course myself, your play-by-play caster, Zephyr. We hope you all stay safe. Have a good night.